Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page here at Facebook and to the daily live stream around the information about the divination card draw that I do in the morning. And so today is Wednesday, December 12th, and it is 12:12. I know I've been contacted by a few people today regarding the 12:12 gateway. And so I thought maybe we would talk about that a bit too, along with the card information. So welcome to the live stream. And for those who'd be watching the recorded video, thank you so much and welcome to you too. And before we start getting to roll with the information, I am going to like and share the broadcast, the live stream. Yeah. So, hey, we get Rochelle. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. I know that you're having a tough day with pain, so I'm glad you're here with us. Yeah. Hopefully, you'll be able to get a little relief while you're watching the show. So, hey, Nellie's with us too. Mervyn Kelly, the host of the live stream show from Star to Stone, is with us. And good afternoon, Mervyn. Good afternoon, because he's over in England. He's across the pond, as they say. And Natasha's with us too. So glad you're here, Natasha. And thank you for joining the Star Nations community. I hope you saw that I did the approval thing for the closed group for you. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And Jackie's here too. Hello, Jackie. So good to see you here. And look, Julie Shumway Hill's here too. So I take it you got to Madison and back, no problem. Got fingers crossed, right? The travel was okay. Yeah. Julie and I were talking about, because we both live in Wisconsin, and we were talking about the snow that happened actually in the wee hours of the morning here. Paul said that at 4:30 it was snowing, and when I got up at 6, it was still snowing, but it was more like a misty kind of. It was wet. It wasn't quite. It was snow, but it was kind of wet. So it made interest in driving here. Driving George to puppy daycare. They call it Club Vet because the daycare is connected to our vet's office, and the vet techs are the ones who help with the puppies. They do some training and the socialization, with other four-leggeds and that kind of thing. And so he loves it there. In fact, I pulled up to the building and I parked and I was going to get him out of my car, and he's still little enough. I thought that he doesn't have enough height to jump into the car, right? So I thought, well, he proved me wrong this morning. I was trying to help him out of the car, and he literally jumped over my arm. And and I'm closing my eyes, thinking, okay, don't get hurt. Then again, we were right there at the vet's office, right? So he proved to me this morning that he doesn't need assistance getting in and out of the car anymore. So yay! Yeah, he's getting big enough to do that on his own. Yeah. So it was a little slippery out there driving this morning. And Julie's saying, I work in Madison, but this morning travel was good. Oh, good. Yay. All right. And Stephanie's saying, hi, peeps. Hello, Stephanie. Rochelle says, my son lives in Sun Prairie. Oh, all these Wisconsin people. Yeah. And I say that because I have no accent. Right? We don't believe we have an accent in Wisconsin, but I'm told all the time that I have an accent. I don't hear it. Do you hear it? Julie, do you hear it? I'm going to throw that out to the whole group. Do you hear my accent? Do I have an accent? I don't think I do. Some people say that. There's times, though, that I can honestly say that I'll say something and I think, ooh, that sounded like kind of Canadian, and yeah. Oh, well. I've lived here my whole life, so I suppose having an accent isn't the worst thing, is it? All right, so I am going to like and share the broadcast. Here we are, liking and sharing. I'm sending it over to my news feed and letting my friends know that I'm live streaming. And period. And then we're going to ask them to please join us. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to send it over to the Academy too, to the closed group Academy. And I'm just going to let them know that I'm live streaming. And then to please join us. There we go. I'll get it over to the closed group. One of the closed groups. There. Set. Now, it's a very interesting day, I think, because I've been contacted by a few people. Stephanie says, you occasionally have an accent, but living in Oklahoma flattened it significantly. Yeah, living in Oklahoma, we lived there 2 different times for 6 months each. And yeah, I liked it there. I did. I liked it better the second time because I had my own wheels. We towed my vehicle out with us because Paul was doing his officer advanced training the second time, and so I had my own wheels, which meant that I didn't have to wait around for him or get up early and drive him in, and that kind of stuff. So it was much more fun the second time around. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad my accent isn't like huge, right? Okay, so let's see where to start. Do we want to start with the card information or with the 1212 gateway? For those people who might not know it, is that today we have another gateway. We had one this will be the third one in December. No, wait. The third one since November. We had 2 of them in November, 11/11. 11/11/11 happened twice in November. And this month we have the 12/12 gateway. And obviously the 12/12 gateway, and so does one of the 11/11s happens annually. Okay. And the gateways, they're basically an opening. It's a port, not a portal. It's like a doorway, I guess. Gateway. Kind of reminds me of Stargate, with the chevrons when they click into place. Yeah. Yeah. So today is another gateway, and the gateway is a time when universal energy at a certain frequency comes through for our soul growth. Okay. And it's kind of like the assistance from the universe. So many times people aren't really aware of it, but those of us who are aware of it, we can get confirmation and validation, and we can actually tap into that energy, which I think we'll do during the show today, because we're going to talk quite a bit about it. And so we're going to tap into it. Okay. Yeah. It's actually, the way that Natasha has it written is the 12:12 is the way that you normally see the 12:12 or the 11:11 or whatever gateway written, and it's in 4 minutes here. Gate opening to everyone. That's right. And I don't believe in coincidences. No. I think that everything is synchronized and in synchronicities. And so having this live stream show where we're together in the afternoon here at 12:12 is very, very significant. And let me tell you why. Because as I was looking up and getting the information about what this particular gateway this year, the energy that it holds, is really about a lot of things that we've been talking about for a few weeks, about our facing our greatest fear, about healing work around those traumas, those mental and emotional traumas, so that we have more access to our gifts and to our intuition. Okay. And Spirit has been nudging us all the way along with all the card reads that we've done in the last 2 to 3 weeks, right? And so this gateway is about an evolution, a consciousness evolution, not necessarily a physical in our bodies kind of evolution, but in our consciousness and in our vibration, in our frequency. And I believe that this gateway has a lot to do with supporting all of the work that we've been doing for a really long time, actually, many of us. And most certainly for those of us that have been consciously talking about and sharing about our path, our experiences here on this live stream, this daily live stream. So, there's been times when I've actually asked you guys, and I'll ask it right now, how many people have done their grounding today? Because if you haven't done it, we should do it. Because it's really important, especially today, of all the days this month. This one and probably the winter solstice, the solstice energy that you really want to be grounded for. Why? Is because that way the gateway energy that's flowing in is going to be coming to you when you are centered and grounded, stable and calm, and so that you can really notice the shift, okay, or the shifts, they're saying plural. So, well, good for you, Rochelle. She did her grounding. And so if you need assistance with it, we can do a short kind of one together if you want. But, it's more important that you just take a moment. Just take a moment if you haven't. Hey, you can do grounding anywhere, right, Steph? I worked on grounding while in the dentist chair, so I guess I grounded great. That's wonderful. And you can ground anywhere. Don't have to wait for the perfect, the air quotes, perfect place or time. And so if you haven't, I'm encouraging you now just to take a moment while we're together and do your grounding. There's many, many different ways to ground, different techniques, different modalities, many paths, right? Doesn't matter as long as you have a clear intention and call in your spiritual team too, because they're already with you. They're already there. It's just getting consciously bringing them in. The whole team. Yeah, not just a couple. Everybody. Calling them in. Because we're going to be sharing about the gateway in just a second, and also about the cards, because I do believe that the cards that were shown to us today support our work, and also the gateway. Yay! All right. So let's talk a little bit about the 1212, okay? And one of our show hosts, Julie Hedges, contacted me this morning. She has a meeting during this time frame at her work, because a lot of times she'll tune in and come into the chat room while she's working and listen, right, while she continues her work. But she's got a meeting during this time frame. She says, please talk about 1212, because I really want to know what you're thinking about it and what you're feeling about it. And so she was the very first one to contact me. So Julie, this one's for you. Now, when we have these celestial events, these events where the universe is providing this kind of energy, it's just not on this particular time frame. And I want us to step away from a linear way of looking at it, okay? Because a linear way is helpful for our mental mind, yes, to grab the information and to really do what our mind does best, which is the analysis piece, right? We do need it, but for this moment, what I'd like us to do is to set aside, to allow it to step to one side, the linear, okay? Because the gateways actually, they're more like windows. When you open a window, especially the kind that go on vertical, that you have a small amount as you start to open it, and it gets wider and wider and wider and wider, right? And as you close the window, it starts to get narrow. That opening starts to get narrow, correct? Okay, so the energy is kind of like that. It's on a range. So as Natasha was saying, that in 4 minutes, which is probably, we've already done it, right? That it was actually opening on that at that time, which is 12, 12, 12, right? So, but it really is on more of a range than an actual linear pinpoint time frame. Now, it does peak at that time. Okay, it does peak. That means that it's more powerful at that time. But we're in this range. So anytime that you can tap into the energy in this range is good. One point is not better than another. It really has more to do with your intention and coming to the frequency and the vibration with an open mind and an open heart, and that you're grounded. Okay, that's the most important thing. Because this gateway is open from now, the 12/12, to the winter solstice on 12/21. Okay, so we're in this range, and so whatever we discuss here today, and whatever you guys question, or your thoughts you want to share, this is all good, because we learn from each other. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I need to open up the 4 directions. So, okay, they just want me to say it. All right. So if you're sitting, just put your feet flat on the floor. Okay. That way we're our intention is to be connected to grandmother. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be calling to each of the directions, and if you could just turn your attention as I speak the words to those directions. Okay. All right. So. Mauna, Earth Maker, Creator of all things, we humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here today as we share about the information of the gift that you're sending to us called the 12/12 Gateway, and also the cards that Spirit provided to us today. And we ask you to please come to be with us, and to please come. Miigwech, thank you. And we call to the Spirit of the East, the Spirit of thought, the Spirit of air. We humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here today so that we may have balanced thoughts as we share about the gift that we are calling the 12/12 Gateway and the divination cards that were gifted to us, the information this morning. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We also call to the spirit of the south, the spirit of fire, the spirit of energy. We humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here today so that we may have balanced energies as we share about the information about the gift, the 1212 gateway, and the divination card information. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. And we call to the spirit of the west, the spirit of water, the spirit of emotion. We humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here today so that we may have balanced emotions as we share and discuss about the gift, the 1212 gateway, and the information from the divination cards. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. And we call to the spirit of the north, the spirit of balance, stability, and wisdom. We humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here today so that we may have balance, stability, to recognize our own wisdom and the wisdom of each other as we share about and discuss the gift, the 1212 gateway, and also the information coming from the divination cards. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We also call to Grandmother Earth, Kokmiski Khan. Grandmother, we ask you to please join us today, to please join the sacred circle. We so appreciate everything that you provide for us and that we love you so much. We'd like to have you here with us as we share about and discuss the gift we call the 1212 gateway, and also the information that's coming from the divination cards. We ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We call to Grandfather Sky. Gamisho Masay Nan. Mishos, we ask you to please be here with us, to please come and join our sacred circle, to illuminate the path as we discuss and share about the 1212 gateway, this gift that's coming from you, and also the information coming from the divination cards. We ask you to please join our sacred circle and to illuminate our path with the stars, the moon, and the sun. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We also call to our guides, guardians, angels, teachers, allies, all those who work with us for our highest good, to also please be here with us, to assist us, and to communicate with us as we share about and embrace the gift that we're calling the 1212 gateway, and also the information that you provided through the divination cards. And we ask you to please come. Thank you. Miigwech. Ahau. All right. That feels good. Now that we have everybody here, and we can begin sharing about the gateway, this gift that has been given to us today, and so that we have the full orchestra, is what they're saying, the full orchestra to be here with us. All right. All right. So this gateway, this gift, this particular one has the energy of evolution, a consciousness evolution. So all of that information that we have talked about and shared through the cards in the last 3 weeks or so is really was really building up to this. Because with the conscious consciousness and the shift that's happening is that the energy that's flowing through the gateway is really at a frequency that supports the work that we've been doing. All the work that you guys have made the conscious decision to do was to identify your greatest fear, right? Because on the other side of that is your greatest desire. And so bringing that desire on into the physical world, into the physical plane. And we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks. And that this energy that's flowing through us today is here to help us and support us as we do our healing work. Because when we face that greatest fear, we have trauma around that fear. We have emotional and mental trauma around that fear. And so all the work that you've done, and especially today, and in this time frame from today until the solstice, is that the energy that's pouring through this gateway is here to support our work in that. Yeah. Thank you, Violet. She says, yes, that felt amazing. Yeah, it did. It did. And sometimes when I'm calling in the directions, I'll get impressions, right? And today it was from the West, is that when the water, the spirit of water came in, it actually came in like the ocean. You know how the waves come in? And I could hear the waves, right? And the dolphins that were coming in. And yeah, so that ancient energy of the dolphin is here with us, right? And when I called to the north, is that I felt the ancestors, and specifically, my ancestors, the Native American, as they came dancing in, full regalia, hearing the drums, and then the ancestors, the celestial ancestors coming in. Yeah. And calling to Grandmother Earth, I always get kind of reclapped when I get to call her, and every single time is because I love her so much. And so when she comes in, she always comes to me like this big hug, and I feel and see this color green. It's a very rich color green, and I always hear her always call me my dear child when she comes in. So yes, Violet, it felt amazing. And feel the connection, right? To feel the connection. So as I was doing the research for the gateway, there was this website. It's called the I'll share the link with you guys. It's roserambles.org. roserambles.org. And the title of her piece is The 1212 Portal of Evolution. And there was a couple of things that she said in here that kind of jumped out at me that I wanted to share with you guys. And what she says is that this new energy platform anchors within your being as the 1212 gateway opens, as you expand your ability to receive. This force will be filling your high heart with the Christed light. Okay, so that's the Christ consciousness, right? Offering you a new way of perceiving the world and your place within it. As you let the energy expand into your energy system, a profound new level of divine connection occurs within you. And when I read that, I was thinking about the different card drawings that we've had in the last few weeks. And I think it was yesterday or the day before, I said, what we're doing is no small thing. This is life-changing. The work that you guys are doing is life-changing, even if you're just taking that first baby step and stating your greatest fear out loud, or acknowledging it and beginning to sort through those belief systems. Even if you just take one belief system and discern for yourself what parts of it support you or don't support you, and what you're going to release, what you're going to let go. Because basically we're making room, energetic room, right, for the beliefs that support you, completely support you in your soul growth, in your soul contract for the growth here, right? So when I read this piece from her, I was thinking this validates all the stuff we've been talking about for coming, and all the nudges that Spirit has been giving us through the cards. Because they're talking about grounding our gifts to the earth plane. Do you remember that? And that when we manifest, we have to ground that manifestation to the earth plane through our physical body. That our spiritual team can't do that for us because they're not in a physical body. And so that it really is up to us to be able to remember how to do that. And all of that, all those things that we've talked about in the last few weeks. She goes on to say that, let's see, she says that awakening with all the connecting links being activated for the divine template of your new humanity stepping forward into life. There are those in many realms who are holding the template for full actualization of this wholeness within yourself. This realization of self is something that all can experience. So we can all experience it in different, in unique ways, because we all have our own frequency and vibration. And so when it comes through us to support us, that's okay. That's why they were calling it the orchestra. The whole orchestra is here, because when we get together, our vibration, it sounds like an orchestra is playing. It's divine music, right? It's the sound of our souls in their vibration. Yeah. So the work that you've been doing, your self-care, the healing work that you've done to heal those traumas, it's big medicine kind of work that you guys have been doing. Remembering to take care of yourself by grounding and by connecting to both grandmother Earth and grandfather Sky, and that love that we share for them is really, many indigenous people across the whole world believe that there's a certain it's a key, it's a frequency that when we have that acknowledgement that we're their children and that they love us and we love them, it's the key that opens the way for us to proceed to live a life that is meant for us to live. Okay. And so this particular gateway is all about our consciousness, the evolution. And when she talked about the high heart, the high heart, for me, that whenever I read about that or hear about that, that means that we have a balance between our head and our heart. And so we're expressing our life through our high heart, which is our soul. That makes sense? Made sense to me. Actually sounds pretty good. Felt good. Whoops. I meant to check to make sure I was getting all of the comments here. Oh, Stephanie, thank you for putting the information about the card deck and also the 1212 portal information that I'm reading from. She goes on to say, she says, remember that this is an evolution of consciousness, that it's a process occurring within the evolution of blending the divine with the human. And when I read that, I thought, okay, this is really about us remembering that we are a divine child of God, of the Creator. It's a remembering. We already have it. And the more we clear away those lower vibrations caused by trauma, the more and more that our memory, we begin to embrace and acknowledge that we are a divine being, right? And it really does bring into, I think, focus when we hear the phrases of our inner light. You are the light. How many times have we had that in the cards? You are the light. The light is already inside of you. Let your light shine. It really does bring into another focus, it's kind of like a camera, and you're focusing that lens in. Okay, it's an old time camera. Do you remember the 35 millimeters where you have the different lenses and you had to do the focusing aperture? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's not exactly our iPhones or our Android phones. Let's see. She says that there's an acceleration in your cellular structure that may not be obvious to your human mind immediately. However, do not doubt that the process is occurring, and remember that you are a part of the awakening of consciousness on the planet. As you also awaken to your soul's most divine reality. This is the unification of the new life accelerating within you. Now, over here she's talking about ascension, right? And many people think that you have to die to ascend. Not necessarily. She's also talking about our DNA. She's talking about this 12-strand DNA. We in our physical body, we have 2 activated strands of DNA that carry a whole lot of information. And there's 10 other strands that science has been calling junk for a really long time. And it's not until recently that they're actually looking at these other strands that are not connected. They're not physically connected. And they're looking at, why do we even have these 10 extra strands, right? Nellie's saying, yes, proper cameras. Yeah, exactly. So the 12-strand DNA. So we already have 2. The other 10, a few years ago, I think it was like 2000, we moved up here in 2006. So it was right around that time frame. I was teaching classes called Rainbow 12 Gifts in a Song. I was given that phrase from Spirit. It was the name of the work that I was supposed to be doing at that time. And the 12 gifts are the 12 strands. And that the 10 strands can be connected, not into your physical body, but into your light body. Okay. And doing the work to be able to get those connected. Now, this work has been around for a while now. All right. If you Google 12-strand DNA, a whole bunch of information will come up. When I was doing the work back in the mid 2000s, it wasn't quite as prolific. Okay. And so, yeah, I did that work a long time ago. And so doing that, between that and the Merkaba, and yeah, some intense stuff. So this energy coming through this gateway right now is really is also about supporting the work that your soul is doing in activating aspects of that 12 strand, where, decade ago, we had to do it manually, basically. And so what I'm getting is that this is all that groundwork, that foundational work that many of us did back in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, is that this gateway energy that's coming to us today are helping those who may not have had their 12 strands reconnected, It gives you the opportunity on a soul level to be able to do the connection work. And so your spiritual team is really, yeah. So you know what you can do is you can connect with them, ask them, go into meditation, have a conversation with your spiritual team and ask them about your 12-strand DNA. Have a conversation with them. Or you can ask them to please come to you in your dreams and to give you the information that's most important for you to know about that 12-strand. Because the information about this gateway has to do with the frequencies that will support that work. All right. So your mental mind, you don't have to do the understanding part of it and do all of that, the gyrations that it takes that our mental mind does. And that there's many of us that already have some, if not all of those strands reconnected. Okay. So I think this is part of the information that we were supposed to talk about today, is this 12-strand. Because the kind of work that you guys have been doing at a soul level and all of the healing work that you've been at least starting, if not already delving into, because we've been told time and time again, dive deep, go deep. Remember when we got the emotion card, the water guardian card, and it was saying, it told us to dive deep into our emotions? Yep. So isn't it, there is this comforting for me to know that the live streams that we've been doing together and the cards that have been given to us by Spirit has actually been helping us get to this point to understand how we can tap into okay, that information. Thank you, Stephanie. So the 1212 is really about, it's a gift. It's a blessing that the universe is sending to us, this gateway. And it's the evolution of consciousness. So those of us that have been walking around awake for a while, we're definitely getting a boost in it. Hey, and it's Polly Joe's night for her soul connections healing work tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested in doing some of your own healing work, that is something that we can do together, right? You come in with your own intention of what you want to heal or release, and she helps us to do that with her team, and they hold a sacred space for us. All right, so here's that first card. We've gotten this card before, the Mountain. And it says, stand your ground. Stand your ground. And mountain energy is huge. Their vibration can be felt for hundreds of miles, right? And stand your ground. In other words, keep doing what you're doing. Keep on keeping on. The message is hold firm to what you believe in or focusing on, because it's absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. So the work that we've been doing, the work that you've been doing, that we've been talking about, is that you're on the right track. Hold firm to what you believe in or focusing on, because it's absolutely right. So we've been actually talking about what we believe in, right? What is it that really supports us? So keep your focus on what you've been doing. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. You know, they say that the mountains are rooted deep into the earth and reach high into the sky. They've been where they are for thousands of years. So no matter what happens to them, they have remained strong, immovable, unshakable. So they offer the spiritual energies of strength and resilience. Strength and resilience. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted into the Great Mother and reaches high up into the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. And with the gateway, with that extra energy flowing to us, we're getting a huge boost of energy. It says you are resilient and grounded in energy, and air of the mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to be who you are. Take time to root yourself deeply into the energy of earth before welcoming in the energies of heaven. Okay, so I think it's really, really important that we are grounded, that we do our grounding twice a day. Most grounding techniques and protection techniques only, are pretty strong for about 12 hours. So do your grounding and your protection twice a day. And, maybe we can remind each other through this daily live stream, right? From now until the solstice. Yeah. So that we remember to be grounded. The mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are. Talk things over with those around you and know that change will come to you. You'll be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. So, there you go. Here you go, Steph. So what we need to do is stand like a mountain. Be grounded. Receive the gift that's coming through today, the 1212 gateway. Be in a receptive mode. Yeah. Okay. All right. I can do this. 10 minutes, less than that. All right. So here's the second card that came. Remember, the second card supports the first one, and it's summer. Wouldn't that be nice? As we said, well, it's kind of balmy here. It's about 31 degrees. It says, bask in joy and light. Bask in joy and light. All right. So with summer, basking in joy and light. This is what Kyle has to say. He says, rise up, open your wings and shine. Bring your projects and plans out into the light, into manifestation. Summer has always been about recognizing as a time for a joy, for going on adventures and making memories. This is the perfect opportunity for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Light has come to banish the darkness. Clarity is arriving, allowing you to know exactly where you are and how you can move forward. Angels and ancestors, guides are encouraging you to enjoy this moment and not push forward, because this is a time for pleasure, enjoyment, and expansion. There's a great chance that you have extra energy, creativity, and inspiration at this time. Notice that it's coming to you as it is inspiration directly from the divine. What perfect card could we get for a 1212 gateway? Right? I mean, it's saying here that clarity is arriving, allowing you to know exactly where you are and how you can move forward. Light has come to banish the darkness, and that we have an opportunity to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So all of that, all that healing work, all of the acknowledging of your greatest fear, acknowledging that you have inner work, inner healing to do, and that you've begun that. Those are the fruits of your labor is going, okay. So all your work is getting that extra energy from the 12-12. It's getting this energy boost. That's why it's a gift. It says that this card can also indicate that the coming summer will usher in the important energies with regards to your questions or intention. So, we might want to, when you're journaling or you're making a note to yourself, is when the summer solstice in June is to kind of take a reflective look back at this time that we're at right now and the things that have shifted and changed for you in coming in June. Because I think that there's going to be an important time frame here as things unfold, as the energy unfolds for you between now, the winter solstice now, and June, the summer solstice. Good things. Good things. Bask in joy and light. Right? And so when you take these two cards and put them together, standing your ground in what we're doing right now, doing that inner work, and then come, because of the work that we're doing, that we're going to be able to have the fruits of our labor. That heaven and earth are supporting us. And we have this gift of the 12-12 gateway, the conscious evolution in consciousness. Yeah, it's big stuff. Big stuff. So that was a lot of information to cover in 45 minutes, 50 minutes. That was a lot. So do you guys have anything that you'd like to ask or to share? Because here's Rochelle. She says, I feel need to move to the mountains. Been around water my entire life. Need a change. Yeah. Well, the thing is that, do your grounding. Do your grounding, especially right now, because of you're also doing a lot of healing on so many levels, Rochelle. You're doing it on your physical body. You're doing it on your emotional body and your mental body. There's a lot. Rochelle, you're an encyclopedia. Not quite. A lot of the information that comes through, is from personal experience, yes. But, before I even started the broadcast, I sat here and it was a light meditation, and I was asking for help. I was asking my team for help. I said that I intuition is telling me that this is very important information that we're covering today. So I need help. I need help in expressing what needs to be expressed for those souls who are looking for the information. And so, yeah, Michelle, I have a lot of help. I have a lot of help. Yeah, it's good stuff though. And we called in your guides too. All of you, all of our spiritual teams are together right now. As we're sharing and discussing all this information. So, pay attention to the signs, right? The synchronicities. And whatever felt good to you or resonated with you today is really to take note, because it's more important than usual, okay? Because our teams are in concert together right now, working together, supporting us in this information that we've been given, and supporting us in the work that we've been doing, our spirit work, right? We're having this physical experience as divine beings, right? Yeah. They want us to succeed. They want us to actually have that moment of graduation when we complete our soul contract, right? Yeah, it's good stuff that we actually can be together during this time frame. Violet is saying, thank you. It's amazing the 1212 energy. I just launched my website and Facebook page for my new business. I've been holding off on it. I felt today was the day, and it's 1212. Good for you, Violet. Yay! Yahoo! So what is the name of your business and what do you do, Violet? Tell us. Or tell us your new website address. Because we'll go visit. Oh, Violet, that's good. That's why you're here. I didn't make the connection until this talk. It's good. See, we're working together. We're experiencing this together. Hey, Tina. Good to have you here, Tina. Yeah. You're going to have to watch the replay because I think we got some good information came through today. And I can show you the cards at least, right? So the first card that came was the mountains, and it says stand your ground, mountains. The second one is summer, and it says bask in joy and light. And this was all about the 1212 gateway. That's today. Yeah. Violet says Violet's creations. Violet's creations. So what are you creating? Really? And it's violetscreations.com. Yeah. All right. And Julie is saying, I'm feeling the 1212 energy and it's a bit overwhelming, but good. Yeah, that's why you did do your grounding today, right, Julie? You did ground because the grounding will help you with that feeling of overwhelm. Yeah. Okay, Stephanie. Okay, be careful. Safe driving. Say hi to Ben for us, okay? All right. And thanks for all your help, Steph. Violet says, I make organic herbal body skincare products. Ooh. Yay. We're going to have to go visit your website. Go check it out. Tina's saying, yeah, I've been trying to stand my ground lately. Okay. It's good for you. Good for you. Let's work on the language though a little bit because words are powerful, right, Tina? Words are powerful. So instead of trying to stand your ground lately, kind of rephrase that to I am standing my ground or I stand my ground. There's much more power behind it. Because when we're saying we're trying, we're always kind of reaching for it and we're never quite grasping it, the trying. Yeah. Just a suggestion. Only if you feel it. Okay, Tina? Only if you feel it. Oh, Stephanie. She says, recap of today's cards on Pinterest. That's Stephanie. I am so glad that Spirit said, contact Stephanie when I was thinking about, I need help with that social media stuff because it's a lot, right? And she's on it. Okay, good. Julie said, I did some grounding this morning. Okay, good. Yeah, one of the things that helps me, Julie, is that when I get that feeling of the energy being so intense, is that I actually bring images of both Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky to me. The ones that I just love. There's a place, Parfrey's Glen. Parfrey's Glen is one of my favorite places. And so I bring an image of Parfrey's Glen to me and what I feel like when I'm there, how much I love it being there. It's so beautiful there. And then I bring to me a starry night sky, and how much I love that, right? And so when I bring those two images to me, it calms me because I'm bringing my frequency to the frequency of love, and it helps me anyway to allow that intense energy, because it's positive energy, to settle in more comfortably than feeling the overwhelmingness of it, because otherwise I get a headache. And I don't like that. Okay, and Nelly's saying peace and blessings to you all. Okay, yeah, we must be at the top of the hour. We are. Thanks, Nelly. Have sweet dreams, because he's probably heading to bed soon. And there you go, Tina. Woohoo! I'm standing my ground. Exactly. Exactly. Can you feel the difference in that? Feel the difference in that. Yeah. Because we're powerful beings. Yes, we are. We were told that how many times today? Several. All right. So thank you for being with me today. And thank you for bringing your energy and your signature to the spiritual conversation we had about the 1212 gateway and with the cards. Okay. I appreciate it. I really do believe that we learned so much from each other, and to have that feeling that our spiritual teams were working in concert together today, helping us, right? Yay. That felt good. So remember, anything and everything that vibrated, resonated with you, yay, embrace it, embrace it. See how the day unfolds for you, right? And for this particular, is that we want to see how it unfolds between now and the winter solstice, okay, until solstice, because the energy of the gateway will be with us for this time frame. And so just see how it unfolds for you. And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Be the messenger. Share the recorded show with somebody that you might that you think that might enjoy the conversation or have been looking for the information. That's a good thing. All right. And tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is Polly Joe LeBay's show, live stream show, and that is Soul Connections. It's an evening of healing and divine messages. So the first part of the show with her is about the healing meditation. It's a guided meditation. And the second half is about the individual card draw. So if you'd like to have your a mini reading, join us and she'll draw a card for you. Okay. All right. And wait, here we go. Violet saying Violet's Creations business site. Okay. Thank you, Violet. And you're welcome. You're welcome. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the daily card draw live stream at 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern. And Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. I love you guys.